Another political leader who died recently, one whose name in America you probably don't know. His name is Ralph Klein. Do you know the name? He was the 12th Premier of Alberta. That's in Canada. He was also, if I recall, the mayor, Calgary's mayor from 1980 to 1989. Must have been a popular guy. Alberta's 12th Premier from 1992 to 2006, so for 14 years. Well, it appears this fellow was a Christian when he died. His pastor let everybody know, don't have to worry about this guy. He's in heaven, and was given a Christian burial. I sat down beside him, and Ralph said, my ship is going to sail soon. These are the words of a man on his deathbed. And I said, it's going to sail it to a good place, Ralph. You're going to be with Jesus. And we talked about heaven, and he was so peaceful and looked so joyful. He grabbed my hand and held on really tight, and we prayed. I'm confident that Ralph is with Jesus and that he's in heaven. Well, that's a nice story, isn't it? During their final prayer together, he shared with Ralph verses from chapter 14 of the Gospel of John, which describes heaven, saying, in my Father's house are many rooms. I'm going to prepare a place for you, a Doug Padgett. I also shared with him how in that same chapter Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I encouraged Ralph to hang on to Jesus. You know, I know that's a phrase we use. I would just tweak that and say, don't worry, Ralph. Jesus has got a hold of you. I know that's a phrase we use, but thanking God that he had been forgiven, that God had a place for him in heaven, and as a result, Jesus' resurrection and his saving grace in Ralph's life, that he had nothing to fear. True, nothing to fear. You really don't have anything to fear, Christian. I know. It's kind of a scary thing. Your body's getting all goofy and breaking down on you. I know. It's a scary thing. But you have to remember, Jesus has customized your death. He is the author of your days from beginning to end. He knit you together, and he will give you your last breath when he determines the time is done. And you have somebody who walked through death with you, so you do not need to fear. Which brings us back to Rick Warren's son. Seriously, I don't like to think about it, because reading Rick Warren's words, they'll make you weep. They'll just make you terribly sad. Tragic loss of a child. And most of us are just watching it from afar. We'll have no contact with the Warren family. But it's a reminder, better be ready, Christian, better be ready. Horrible things happen. Horrible things happen in this life. Children die. Parents die. Spouses die. Cancer, constant. Alzheimer's, mental issues, more and more. Debilitating diseases, car accidents. If I see one more car accident, it's just tragedy, and it can strike just anytime. Please, Christian, please, if you do not have your theology of suffering, the doctrine of sovereignty and providence squarely in place, you will reel when a tragedy hits, and it's certain to hit. It's certain. I can't help it. I look in my house and I go, okay, there's 5 people. Somebody here is going to get cancer. I'm hoping it's me. So are you ready for your death? Are you prepared to die well? It is always better to be prepared for it when it hits, to have your theological defenses shored up so that you can withstand the battering that is almost certain to come in this life. Are you ready, Christian? Wretched Radio.